Of the Mayoral Committee for Housing in the City of Johannesburg, Cllr Mlungisi Mabaso and residents of Kliptown, Soweto are to meet today. This after the residents complained about service delivery and even took to the streets in protest to air their frustrations and concerns. SABC News journalist Nozintombi Mia and video journalist Japan Matebula are in Kliptown. Nozintombi, what can you tell us at this time?
Thank you so much, Desiree. You're quite right. We are here in the southwestern part of Soweto in Kliptown. And as you rightly said in your intro, about 2 weeks ago, the residents of Kliptown took to the street and they blocked off access to this particular part of Kliptown, which is quite close to, we're actually right on the railway line area. And the residents here had blocked off access to the main road called Union Road, as well as access to the Golden Highway. And they say they want access to services. And, you know, Kliptown is quite an interesting area because one part of Kliptown has been rezoned and rehoused and has access now to RDP houses. But the other side of Kliptown that's across the railway line is still a shanty town, really, to a large extent, where we see a lot of shacks. It's not developed. It doesn't have electricity and it doesn't have water. And the residents were saying, Desiree, that they want the MMC to come and address their concerns and the challenges, and the MMC joins now. Thank you so much, MMC Mlungisi Mabaso. Thank you so much for joining me. Since 2 weeks after the residents had gone on a protest here to raise the issues that they have, the concerns about the services in this particular area, what has been done since?
No, let me first maybe give a background that we met with the community in a public meeting before lockdown. So when we met with the community, then they made proposals to the Department of Housing, and one of the proposals was that if we could just maybe speed up the process of reblocking, because there were delays with the 10K development, because the matter was in court and we were interdicted from developing this area. So after we met with the community, we then the lockdown was came in. Then the regulations then did not allow us to move, so we had to wait. So while waiting, then we did not come back to the community to give them an update to say we have been delayed because of lockdown regulations. So then they took it to the street, but immediately after that, then we convened a meeting with the leadership, where they've indicated to us that the community was frustrated because since the last meeting that we had with them, there have never been any developments, and they wanted to know what was happening. Okay. So we then immediately after that, we met with the leadership. Then we tabled our proposal to them with regards to the reblocking program. So we had them to take it to the community. Yes. So we met with the community last week in a public meeting. So the community was happy with what we reported to them, because we came with a consultant that is going to do the reblocking, and then we came with the contractors that is going to do the refurbishment in the extension.
MMC, let me cut you in the MMC and bring in one of the community leaders here, George Mushala. George Mushala, you heard what the MMC said. He said that last week they brought in the consultants to come and talk about the reblocking. You were one of the leaders of the protest about 2 weeks ago. What is your response to the MMC?
My response to the MMC, first of all, I'd like to say that we as the community of Kliptown, we want to see this happening. They have started the process of the reblocking. As he has said, they've sent the contractors that are supposed to start with the reblocking and the repassment of the charter. But what is most important to the people of Kliptown is we have seen these talks, we have seen these actions being done by politicians. What is more important is we want to see reblocking start happening. You know, doing auditing and all that can happen and papers be taken to offices. We want to see trucks coming in. We want to see bulldozers coming in. We want to see people moving. That's what we want to see. You know, for now we haven't seen that, but we have seen the work has started in terms of them doing the auditing of the sheds, how many people are there and all that. And then hoping that our agreement with the office of the MMC will stay the way it is, because the people of Kliptown can't wait any longer, and we can't afford to go back to the street again. We need our reblocking as soon as possible. We need our electricity, and we need our housing development. That's what we need, as promised by the government.
Right, MNC, you heard what George had to say. The issue is not that you've made promises. The issue is that they've not seen any action.
Well, maybe let me indicate that we have dedicated the month of October to Kliptown development, and I've requested our regional head to have a weekly meeting with the leadership to keep them updated in each and every week, and also myself in the office, I'm getting weekly reports on the progress that we are making in terms of the 10-key development of the Extension 7 that is going to address the very same issue that we are discussing right now. So it's not a matter of talking. The process has started. The people that are doing audit are already on site. The consultant was introduced. So we've got a timeline that we have set for ourselves, and we are going to make sure that we are going to report to the leadership on weekly basis as our regional head in Region D is convening those weekly meeting with the leadership.
George, the MMC is saying that the month of October is dedicated to the issue of the reblocking. As a community that went on a protest 2 weeks ago, is this an answer that is satisfactory to the people?
We as the Committee of Kliptown also are saying that the month of October is dedicated to us fighting with all we have to make sure that the government delivers. Come end of this month, what they are saying is not done. We are going back to the street. It's a promise, it's not a threat. They have told us that by end of this month, many things will start happening. We have said with the government, it's true. We have set ourselves date. We have had meetings with the office of the MMC. We have set timelines to say that when are we starting reblocking, when are we starting 10-key project and all that, as the dates of the 7th and all that have been given. All we are saying is that now it's time to start working, not talking. So we'll see when the days goes, when the weeks goes, that what we are talking about here is really happening on the ground. That's what we want.
MMC, just to explain to the people, our viewers at home, what exactly is reblocking, and what is the difference between this section of Kliptown that is still largely a shanty town and the other section that's closer to the Golden Highway that has been reblocked?
Well, what we are going to do here, we are going to relocate some of the beneficiaries to a land that we have earmarked for the development, because we said we are going to marry the two programs, the reblocking and the 10-key development. So after we have done that, we are going to provide them with stands, then we are going to put in services, and then the electrification will come after that, because Eskom said they want to link the installation of the electricity with the beneficiary of the stand. So that is going to happen after that. So basically that's what we are going to do, just to move some of the beneficiaries so that we have a space to have access roads, to have stands, and then provide services so that even when they require ambulance, when they require the assistance from the police, at least they are access road, and it is easy for everyone to get an access if he wants to get into the informal settlement.
MMC, just before I let you go, what then will happen to this particular area where you can see that they're literally living on a floodline and there is no access into this particular part of the area because it's not tarred, there's no infrastructure? What will then happen to this particular part of land?
The first thing that we are going to address here is the issue of water that is flowing. When I was here, I called the MMC for transport to say he must also send in the JRA officials to come and look at the storm water here. So they came and they said, no, I think we'll also need to involve water affairs to come and address the issue of water here. So we are engaging with the Department of Water to say they must come and assist us here so that JRA is able to fix the storm water that is here, so that we...
And the sewage issues here and the lack of toilets, right?
Exactly. No, the toilet, we are providing chemical toilets. So if they are not sufficient, then I think that is we are going to address because we are working very close now with the leadership. So if there are any issues that they have in the community, we have given them that access to escalate all those issues to us so that we are able to address those issues as they come. So if there are issues with toilets, we are definitely going to address that one as well.
George, just your final thoughts. The MMC has made he's made his declarations about what's expected and what's anticipated. And I know that the toilet issue was one of the big issues in terms of ensuring that the community has access to these toilets. And one of the other concerns that we had was that the community was saying it is difficult for them to maintain social distancing and to be able to keep them safe from COVID because of all these issues. Are you satisfied with the response by the MMC?
Highly satisfied with the response of the MMC. Firstly, I would like to thank the MMC. He's the first MMC since from 2016 to come and give us this promise and actually do them. As I'm saying that we've seen the reblocking processes have started. People are on the ground, it's true. They've started doing the reblocking processes. Speaking with you now, people have started to address the issue of the overflowing in the Union Road street. We will highly appreciate that he keeps all his promises.
Definitely, you have to make sure that you keep making sure that the MMC sticks to his promises. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying, George?
Yes, because the people of Kliptown have been promised a lot of time by a lot of politicians. He's also a politician. They've been coming here and promising and doing nothing. But with this one, we are seeing he's on the ground. We want him, we get him, he comes and does things. What we want to say, as he said, come the month of October, as we are saying, we can't practice social distancing. As you can see, the streets of Kliptown are overflowing with sewage water. We are using, as he said, chemical toilets. We don't want chemical toilets anymore. We want proper sanitation. We want water. We want electricity. You know, this is not time and age where people are supposed to be using chemical toilets while we've got a pandemic like coronavirus that can easily transmit. You know what I can tell you about this toilets he's talking about? 20 families are using one toilet. And 20 families in each and family, they've got about 15 members in a family. Multiply 15 by 20 and make it. One toilet is being used by more than 300 people a day. That is totally unacceptable. You understand? So we need these things with an immediate effect. The sooner the reblocking is going to happen, the sooner we're going to have our resources that we need. So I can't wait come the 31st of this month. I want to see those trucks coming in and going out, people moving, having streets, so that we can have access to all service delivery that we want in our community.
Thank you, George Mashala, the community leader here in Kliptown, and the MMC for housing here in the city of Johannesburg, Mlungisi Mabaso. Just to give me a quick wrap about the toilet issue, over 300 families using one chemical toilet. Shocking.
No, it's shocking. It's really, really shocking. Hence, I've just indicated that since we are now aware of what is happening, we're going to address that. Our regional head is here, so I'm going to ask him to stay with the leadership so that they work on the plan on how those toilets can be delivered. Because we procure them through Johannesburg Water, and I've reached into the MMC already. There are areas where we have delivered the chemical toilets, and we know that that's not what we want for our people. But it's an interim.
We need to provide dignity to the people of Kliptown.
It's an interim interventions that we can provide right now, but we hope that the process and the timelines that we have given ourselves, we are going to deliver within those timelines, so that we are able to give them their own stands, so that we put in the services, so that they are not able to share the toilets.
All right, thank you so much. The MMC for housing here in the city of Johannesburg, as well as the community leader here in Kliptown, Desiree, the MMC for housing, saying that the people of Kliptown will finally be able to get access to some sort of services by the end of October. And he's saying that they're looking at removing the shacks and extending the area so that people have access to stands. He's also talking about how the multi-departments will be coming here to Kliptown to deal with the issue of the sewage spilling in the streets, as well as the water overflowing, and as well as looking at the and the shocking statistics of almost 300 families sharing one chemical toilet, especially in this time right now where we are, Desiree, where we are dealing with a global pandemic. And it is imperative for communities such as these to make sure that they have access to adequate hygiene services and housing. Desiree.
And it's on that note where, Nozintombi Mia, thank you so much, where we'll continue a conversation that the President is doing today, where we're talking about economic development. But even as we have these conversations about the recovering the economy, how much access is there? We asked you today to call in on 078-799-4480, and we have on the line Innocent Malepe from Mamelodi. Go Mams, Innocent, what are your thoughts today as we look forward to the president telling us about how he's going to strengthen the South African economy going forward?